agencies have done. And I'm wondering whether you are able to...
Tomorrow marks the 4th year since the coup in Myanmar, and an analysis by our office finds that the situation on the ground for civilians is only getting worse by the day, driving unprecedented levels of killing in 2024. Robbing the workforce of many aged between 18 and 30. According to the Assistance Association for Political Prisoners, at least 1,824 people were killed, including 531 women and 248 children, sharply up from the previous peak of 1,639 verified deaths in 2023. In all, over the past 4 years, at least 6,231 civilians, including 1,144 women and 709 children, have been killed by the military. I will now hand over to my colleague James as the head of... The atrocities and violence committed by the military have expanded in scope and intensity. The retaliatory nature of the attacks have been designed to control, intimidate and punish the population.
A friend of mine, James Rodehaver, who's joining us from Bangkok, but over to you, Jeremy.
An analysis by our office over the situation, with respect to the situation in 2024, details acts of extreme brutality, including beheadings, burnings, mutilations, executions, torture, and the use of human shields, all of which were carried out against civilians with absolute impunity.
Treatment of migrants, the issue of their suggestion.
In Rakhine State, the Rohingya found themselves trapped between the warring Arakan army and the military, with nowhere to turn for protection. Their villages were burnt, their youth pressed into military service, and humanitarian assistance cut off, while they were forced repeatedly into displacement, fleeing to find any means of safety. Without an immediate end to this brutality and accountability for the perpetrators, civilian casualties will only continue to rise, and the overall situation for civilians will inevitably continue to deteriorate.
The delivery of humanitarian assistance.
And so this has created a very dire situation in the country that is only compounded by the military's continued limitation on access for humanitarians and their ability to deliver aid in many parts of the country, particularly those impacted by conflict and violence.
Secondly, there were recent reports of the Myanmar.
The Myanmar military has been very much on the back foot throughout, since the end of October 2023. But they lost a considerable amount of ground last year. Right now, there are very few, if any, land checkpoints that remain under the control of the Myanmar military, so it has effectively lost control of the vast majority of its land borders, and some estimates have put their ability to control territory at around 25 to 35% of the country. Now, that does include many of the population centers in the country, like Mandalay, Naypyidaw, Yangon, of course. So, they do still have some control, but what's rather remarkable is that they seem only to be able to control areas where they have troops actively deployed. And so they are constantly in a state of retreat, which is one of the reasons why they're relying upon heavy weaponry, because it is the only area where they enjoy a significant advantage to their opponents.
China? Thank you.